Every soldier in this video fought in a war nobody could see. No uniform, no rank, no army behind them. Just a fake name, a cover story, and the knowledge that if anyone found out who they really were, nobody would come to save them. Today we're telling the stories of the spies who changed history. Not the gadgets, not the operations. The people. What they gave, what they lost, and what it actually costs to live as someone you're not. Identity 1. The man Hitler's own ambassador trusted most. Tokyo, 1933. A charming German journalist named Richard Sorge arrives from Berlin. He drinks heavily. He rides his motorcycle recklessly through the city. He is seen at every party, every diplomatic gathering, every bar frequented by senior German officials. The German ambassador to Japan, Eugen Ott, considers him a close friend. Ott trusts Sorge so completely that Sorge sometimes drafts the ambassador's own cables to Berlin. He travels as a German courier carrying secret messages between embassies. He has breakfast with the ambassador every morning. He knows everything Germany knows about Japan, and he is reporting every single piece of it to Moscow. Richard Sorge was a Soviet agent and one of the most valuable in history. Born in Russia to a German father, he fought for Germany in World War I. The war left him permanently wounded and permanently opposed to what he had fought for. He joined the Communist Party in 1919 and spent the next 2 decades building a cover so convincing that even the Gestapo, when they investigated him, concluded he was a loyal German. By 1941, Sorge was the most informed foreign observer of Japanese politics in Tokyo, and what he observed was critical. On May 12, 1941, 6 weeks before Operation Barbarossa, Sorge sent Moscow a report. 170 German divisions would attack the Soviet Union on approximately June 20th. Stalin ignored it. The attack came June 22nd. Then Sorge did something even more consequential. In August 1941, with Germany advancing on Moscow, he reported that Japan had decided to strike south into Southeast Asia and the Pacific. Not north, not against the Soviet Union. The Soviet Far East was safe from Japanese attack. Stalin for once believed him. He transferred 400,000 troops, 1,000 tanks, and 1,000 planes from the Far East to the Western Front. Those reinforcements, trained for winter combat, arrived at Moscow in November and December 1941. They stopped the German advance and pushed it back. Sorge's intelligence may have saved Moscow, and Moscow from falling may have saved the Soviet Union. And saving the Soviet Union may have determined who won World War II. One spy, in one city, with one breakfast table. Sorge was arrested October 18, 1941, 3 days after his final message was sent. The Japanese tried 3 times to exchange him for Japanese prisoners of war held by the Soviets. Moscow's reply, each time, was the same. The man called Richard Sorge is unknown to us. The spy who may have saved the Soviet Union was abandoned by the country he served. He was hanged November 7, 1944 in Sugamo Prison, Tokyo. 20 years later, in 1964, the Soviet Union posthumously declared him a hero of the Soviet Union. Ian Fleming, who created James Bond and spent World War II in British intelligence, called Sorge the most formidable spy in history. He died without knowing if anyone would remember him. Identity 2. The woman. The Nazis couldn't catch the Gestapo's internal communications in 1942 read as follows. She is the most dangerous of all Allied spies. We must find and destroy her. The subject of that memo was a 35-year-old American woman from Baltimore who had one leg. Virginia Hall lost her left leg below the knee in a hunting accident in Turkey in 1933. She named the wooden prosthetic Cuthbert. When she applied to the U.S. Foreign Service after her recovery, she was told that her disability made her ineligible. No diplomatic career, no frontline role, not a candidate for anything serious. In 1941, the British Special Operations Executive disagreed. They sent her to Vichy, France, occupied, dangerous, watched constantly by the Gestapo, as their first female agent in the country. Her cover, American journalist for the New York Post. Over the next 15 months, Virginia Hall organized resistance networks across central France, recruited informants, set up safe houses, reported German troop movements, masterminded jailbreaks for captured Allied agents, rescued downed Allied pilots, built an intelligence infrastructure across a region teeming with people who would turn her in for money. The Gestapo knew they were hunting someone they called the Limping Lady. They had a composite sketch, wanted posters. Klaus Barbie, the Butcher of Lyon, was personally assigned to find her. He never did. When the Gestapo closed in at the end of 1942, Hall fled. On foot, over the Pyrenees Mountains, in winter, 50 miles, in snow, with a wooden leg. She radioed SOE headquarters from the mountains to report she was okay, but that Cuthbert was giving her trouble. SOE, not knowing Cuthbert was her prosthetic, replied, "If Cuthbert is giving you trouble, have him eliminated." She crossed into Spain, was briefly arrested, was eventually released, and asked immediately to go back. In March 1944, she returned to France, this time for the American OSS, disguised as an elderly peasant woman. She organized over 500 French resistance fighters, sabotaged bridges and rail lines, mapped drop zones for the D-Day support operations. After the war, General William Donovan personally awarded her the Distinguished Service Cross, the only civilian woman to receive it in World War II. She refused to let President Truman present it publicly. No ceremony, no publicity, no memoir. She went to work for the CIA, one of its few senior women, and stayed there until mandatory retirement at age 60. She died in 1982. For decades, almost nobody outside intelligence circles knew her name. Identity 3, the British intelligence chief, who was always the enemy. If Sorge and Hall represent the cost of being a spy, Kim Philby represents what happens when the spy is the one who can't be caught. Harold Kim Philby rose through British intelligence to become head of MI6's anti-Soviet section. He was charming, well-connected, from the right background, trusted by everyone. He was also a Soviet agent from the beginning. Philby was one of the Cambridge Five British men recruited to Soviet intelligence while at Cambridge University in the 1930s. For over 2 decades, Philby passed everything he knew to Moscow. The names of British and CIA agents operating behind the Iron Curtain, operational plans, sources, methods. Hundreds of people died as a direct result of information Philby passed to the Soviets. Operations were compromised before they began. Trust between Western intelligence agencies was poisoned for years. When suspicion finally fell on him in 1963, after years of investigation that he repeatedly survived, he defected to Moscow. He was given the rank of colonel in the KGB. But even in Moscow, the Soviets never fully trusted him. A man who had betrayed his own country once could betray anyone. He died in Moscow in 1988. He had given the Soviet Union decades of his life, and the Soviet Union gave him a comfortable apartment and a lingering suspicion. The double life had made him genuinely belong nowhere. What the Spies story teaches us: 3 spies, 3 different countries, 3 entirely different outcomes. Sorge died hanged and disowned. Hall lived quietly, decorated but silent. Philby defected and spent his final years in lonely exile. None of them got what soldiers get: the parade, the recognition, the clear moral account of what they did and who they did it for. Espionage operates in the space where national interest overrides everything else, including the people who serve it. Sorge was too dangerous for Moscow to acknowledge. Hall was too unconventional for Washington to celebrate in her lifetime. Philby was too compromised for either side to fully trust. The spy is the weapon that the state will never officially claim. Ian Fleming understood this. He created James Bond, glamorous, recognized, officially supported. Specifically because the reality of intelligence work is none of those things. The reality is Sorge, abandoned at the gallows. Hall, crossing a mountain alone in winter. Philby, trusted by no one in a country that wasn't his. History remembers wars through the soldiers who fought them. It should remember the people who changed them without ever being allowed to admit they were there. Subscribe to Battlepedia for more of this kind of history. And drop a comment. Whose story hit you hardest? I read everyone. See you next week.